Hi there, I'm Charlie, your online business manager and WordPress expert. My goal is to assist small to medium business owners build their businesses with a focus on using the internet and online technologies in an appropriate and cost-effective manner. People hire me to take the stress out of managing their businesses and allow themselves to focus on what they do best. Chantal Penny specialises in consulting and advising construction companies to optimise their talent acquisition process in order to boost profits, streamline succession planning, and enhance productivity. Through strategic consulting, oh my goodness, it's been a while since I've had to do this, advisory services and superior talent acquisition, Chantal assists in blending intellectual hiring techniques with instinct to revolutionise their approach. I'm really excited to talk to Chantal today, and she's going to tell us a little bit, I hope, about how to build a great culture in your business but when you're hiring your team, as well as how she built her business during COVID. Hi, Chantal. Thanks for coming on.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You are most welcome. So, look, I've given people the intro there. I'm sorry that wasn't as great as I could have done, but there you go. Perhaps you could give us
a bit of a tongue twister.
Perhaps you could give us a bit of a helicopter view about yourself. Tell us who you are, just a quick intro, and then tell us about your business.
Yep, done. So my name's Chantal Penny. I've been doing recruitment for about 9 years now, give or take, and I specialise in construction. But a bit about me is I currently live in Brisbane, and I built a business out of COVID. What else do you want to know? That sort of sums it up. I've been doing sales, for the last 20 years of my life. So I started off in sales in real estate, in New South Wales in the inner west, which is obviously very competitive. So just learning a lot about how to sell to people, how to listen to people's needs, and be able to turn that around to make sure that you're delivering on what they need and what they're looking for. So that sort of proceeded on to help me do recruitment essentially, and whether you like it or not, recruitment is sales. I'm selling the job to the person. I'm selling myself to the business, and because I feel like it's definitely the hardest type of sales ever, and the reason is because I don't have a fixed commodity. I'm like, you're selling a dream, you're selling some hopes and dreams, and you're also selling a service.
So it's not just about people coming because they want a job. It's because they must want to work with you. So that was a really great intro. I really appreciate you doing that. Being in construction must be a little bit different as well. And
it's very
I can imagine. So why don't you start talking us through recruiting a team and the sorts of things that you found and did as you went through it?
A few minutes later.
Nothing ever goes to plan. Like, you just got to, you know what I mean? And like, literally, that's my job, every single day. Like,
this is a great place to pick it up. So I've just sort of cut the video and started at that cut right there. The doorbell rang. No one ever comes to visit me, and the doorbell rang while we're doing this interview. So there we go. So nothing ever goes to plan. So I was asking you, you've given us a bit of an intro about yourself. Why don't you talk to us about the recruitment process? You said it was really important because you're trying to sell yourself and sell the business, and why it's important not only to get it right and to sell the business, but to sell the business to the right people.
Yep. So I think that, first of all, I've seemed to find a bit of a niche, like, the recruitment side of things for me. I run a boutique agency. So we are very much about finding like highly skilled people. You know, a lot of the people that I deal with are, you know, niche parts of the business. So, you know, want people that are highly qualified or specialised, or, you know, they have difficult finding. But there's this other side to it that people struggle to be able to sell the job, you know, to the person. And I feel like we are living in this culture. You're sitting there, how it's changed, and we can't. But there's like this missing element of why you're not asking them or talking to them and finding out what people want. Because now we do live in a society where, you know, we all have a voice, and, you know, there's more famous people than unfamous people at this point, you know, because of all the platforms and whatever. But we do have this thing that we want to be heard. But what we can't go past is we cannot go past that as human beings, we all want to be part of a community. So to make sure that people are feeling part of a community, and that being their workforce and their job, which we all know that we spend most of our time, you know, at, we need to make sure that we are finding the right people. So first of all, you need to ask a person what they're actually looking for. So are they looking for career progression? Are they straight up looking for money? You know, what, like, do they want a work-life balance? And then find out how you know, can possibly look at that's going to fit into the business structure you have. But this whole thing of, you know, I'm just going to be a manager and everyone should just do what they're told and how they're told to do it just does not fly anymore. I cannot tell you in my industry, and it actually, like, it's a bit of a pet peeve, you know, there is such a difference between having someone and calling them, you know, names on site, or like, you know, like a girl, and, you know, all these like outdated, retarded stuff, to turning around and saying someone actually has needs. We, you know, construction industry suffers from one of the biggest fatalities when it comes to suicide. And this is because we are still living in this outdated structure. So if you want to be amazing and you want to hire the best and you want to get the best of the best, then you need to be able to listen to people, treat them like a human being, make sure you're following up and, you know, on them, and, you know, make sure that they're getting everything they need to do their job. So, you know, so it starts from the beginning, where when we speak to people, you know, and don't get me wrong, I am blunt. I'm a blunt person. I can't help it. But that does give people expectation of what they can expect in the role that they're going to. So because I do both permanent recruitment and I do, you know, I also do a lot of labor hire, it means that, like, I can turn around and go, okay, this is, you know, what are you looking for? Listen to what they're looking for, go through their experience and go, okay, well, this is what I have to offer. And, you know, I can also reassure them that what I have to offer from the company is what they're looking for, because I've listened to them, rather than just speaking at them and giving them no reassurance and then hoping for the best.
Okay, so there's a couple of things I picked up there. And the one thing that really kind of got me was you said, just saying I'm the manager and you've got to do as you're told doesn't fly anymore. I'm going to say that it's never flown. It's never flown. And the people that are really good managers and leaders understood that, even way back when, even in, you know, when my dad started working, you still had the people that led by example. They were great. People would walk over hot coals for them. And it reminds me of a short I saw of a ex-military guy saying that, you know, you've got, you know, when is respect earned or given? And it's all the same sort of thing. You said, you know, there are people that you take away the uniform, you take away the rank, and we would still follow them because that's the type of person they are. You've got the people that have got the rank and got the uniform, and you comply.
And that doesn't instill the loyalty, though.
No, it doesn't. Absolutely.
Being heard. And it never goes past, like, we are human beings. And so whatever is happening in the rest of the world does not matter. There's this innate way that we want to be treated and we want to feel.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, that was the first thing that resonated. And it's something that I work with business owners, and it's something that, you know, as business owners, we need to remember when we're building our teams, whether we're employing people, and a lot of my listeners won't employ people. We'll work with small contract teams that come together and dissipate as we have projects. Is that we need to lead. We just can't say, look, I said it's got to be done, so it's got to be done, because yeah, right. We'll just go find something else to do because we're bored, or this is horrible. We don't want to do this. And then selling your business and selling the role that you've got to make sure that you're putting the right person into the role. Now, one thing that I'd be interested in your take on is, do you recommend necessarily employing because someone's got the skill set to do the job but not the right fit culturally, or do you look to employ someone who may not be as skilled but could learn the skills but is a better fit culturally? So would you like to talk on that one?
100% all day, every day. Like, personality wins. Literally, that's what I'm trying to teach people about, as well as how to, you know, that's what talent instinct a lot is about how to recognize personality traits and how to listen to your gut feeling when you can see that someone's, you know, throwing up sort of red flags, or, you know, you can like tell like that they're really engaged, and, you know, all of those sorts of things. That's 100% about hiring on my instinct, and from getting that information from talking to someone, having certain response sort of triggers and things like that. And I, all day, every day, the person that's going to work out the most in the company is going to be the one that fits culturally, and the one that has the great attitude, the one that doesn't take their job, you know, that thinks that they've been doing their job for a million years so they know better, you know, and is very like, you know, stagnated in their position and what they want to do and what they don't want to do. I want someone that's like excited. It's an opportunity, you know, and they're going to like absorb as much information as possible. I think that, you know, wanting to constantly learn and evolve is, you know, one of the best personality attributes someone can have.
Yep, absolutely. And I would concur. It's actually something I learned as a younger woman when we had a really, really dynamic team, and we were looking for a specific skill set. And we brought in the person with the skill set, and it destroyed the team.
Oh, that can happen. You know, it just like, you know, it's that one person throughout the whole, you know, team goes from making, you know, being happy and at their best. Everyone's in a bad mood every day, you know, no one's like doing what they're supposed to. It's not a good thing. It breaks businesses.
Yeah, it really, really does. So, and I guess the thing that we haven't really focused on there is that often skills can be taught. Well, no, skills can be taught. Skills can be learnt, and skills can be taught. If you've got someone who's got really good basics in something and they're a really good fit for the team, and you know that you can teach them to do a particular job, they're often going to be the better candidate for you than the person who knows it all but is going to grate with your personality, or is just not going to fit in with the way the team works, or, you know, you call it your instinct. It really is. It's an instinct about, yeah, that person is really good. I just don't like them. They rub me the wrong way. And people used to rub me the wrong way a lot.
You should come and sit in my office for a day. You'd love it.
No. I worked with tradies. No, we're good.
Look, you know what? Me personally, I love it. Like, and, you know, I think that it is definitely an acquired taste. you know? So you either love it or you don't. And I love the fact that, you know, it's constantly changing and challenging, and, you know, it is, you know, there's so many different things to learn when it comes to construction, you know? So the thing is, you've got so many different personality types, and again, like the different laws and things like that we actually have to know and deal with is just a whole nother thing as well, you know? So but, you know, in saying that, again, it's you know, we definitely have different, you know, things that we really have to watch out for. And to be honest with you, I'll tell you, so I supply, you know, white collar, you know, people as well. So obviously, like, that's just a different kettle of fish again. So when I'm looking for accounts people, I'm looking for project managers, like CFOs, you know. I actually did accounting recruitment for a little while, and around and tell me they like to look at numbers. It was like I was, oh my God, everyone says the same thing. I forgot, you know. But even with that, it's just different to actually like look at the different kind of a person and look at the nuances within their personalities, you know. And you know, every different industry has those nuances. So even though, like, I specialize in recruitment, you can 100%, you know, transfer over my skill set to any industry.
Yep. Okay. So what sort of hints and tips, based on what you've just told me there, what sort of hints and tips would you have for business owners, particularly small business owners, if they're looking to grow their team? Like, you know, they may think that they need 2 or 3 positions all at once. What would you recommend?
I mean, again, I would like make sure that you start the process, you know, from the beginning and do it correct. And I would make sure that, you know, you research what the market sort of value of a person is. Make sure that you know what, you know, you can offer a person and things like that. In terms of interviewing people, I think it's really important that you understand that anyone can go online and read the interview questions that they think they're going to be asked. That's never going to tell you what you actually need to know. So within staying within the law and boundaries and things like that, I think it's very important that you, again, talk to the person and be open with them. Nothing worse than going into an interview and someone sitting there and having no feedback and being stone cold, and you not being able to feed off them, or, you know, have a back and forth and get to know them. So that would probably be another one. And then be like clear about what you're actually looking for, so you know what the position entails. I can tell you that there are so many times when I talk to businesses and they aren't clear on what the role is, and they're like, oh, it'll be all right, you know, whatever. No, because no one's going to live up to your expectation if you don't know what the expectation is. Goals on what you know, what the role is, then it's very hard to find someone to fill that position properly.
So have really good objectives as to what you want that job to do, or a clear duty statement, pretty much, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. And give lots of feedback as you're going through the interview process yourself. So actually have conversations. Don't just ask questions and say, mm-hmm, uh-huh, and keep moving.
The best interviews I've ever done over the years, like, you know, for me giving, or, you know, for me being in, is when I've sat down and had like a managers and we've had a genuine conversation. So I think being able to maybe even to give an idea, to be to your questions in a way that it sort of flows so you can, there's plenty of ways to skin a cat, as they say, so rather than just being like doing these, understand, I guess, your open-ended and your closed questions.
Right. So you mean ask leading, you mean ask leading questions rather than questions that require a yes or a no answer.
Yeah. And ask them to give examples, and ask them sort of, like what their experience has been, but like no harm in having a sense of humor.
No, and honestly, my experience is if you are human and relaxed in your interview, you normally get down to the nitty-gritty of who the person is you're interviewing. If you're very staid and reserved, this is just my experience, you get them very sort of that you don't know who you're talking to because they don't know what you're looking for and they don't know how to respond.
Yeah, that's such a great way of explaining it, and it's so true. And I feel like that's where I have like a lot of I do well in what I do, because I make people feel super comfortable, and I'm just having a chat to them, and then while I'm sort of chatting, I'll just sleep in a full you do here. What was
Okay, I'm having a couple of lags here, so just bear with me if I look like I'm being a bit funny. My I don't know what it is. Internet. Might be nearly tippy time.
Yeah, always the way.
Okay, so I just also wanted to sort of highlight things that you were saying there that actually go the other way as well. Like when you are the business and you're trying to sell your business to a client and trying to get the job for a client, a lot of these sorts of things can be applied in that way as well. You're not just interviewing. In fact, you are interviewing the customer to be your customer as much as they're interviewing you to be their supplier. And it's just, it never fails to amaze me that when you're sitting down and you're looking at it, it's like it's the same process. You might do slightly different things, but it's the same process. It's all sales, as you said earlier. It's all sales, and you're selling yourself. You're selling your business one way or the other. Okay, let me ask. I'll see how you go with this one. What's the worst experience you can remember interviewing someone?
Oh God!
I know. I just put you on the spot, didn't I?
Okay, yeah. I mean, I've definitely seen some things in my time, let me tell you. One thing that like always amazes me straight off the bat is I have, gone to interview, younger, like 18, 19-year-olds, and their parents have turned up with them and want to come in the interview with me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, look at the look of horror on my face. That's yeah. No, as much as you might want to, Mum and Dad, don't do it.
Yeah. I think that it's especially in sort of senior positions and things like that, I make sure that they have like done their research on the company that they're going to, and I make sure that they understand like what when I can tell by the way that I can tell by, them like laughing at my jokes, and I know it seems stupid, but I want to see if they've got a bloody sense of humor and how they're gonna react to things, So, but yeah, God, I've had some people like walk into my office and I've taken one look at them and I've just gone, oh wow, okay. Just how people speak on the phone, even like just being articulate, like a massive thing for, you know, for people to ring me and be like, I just saw your ad on Seek. Okay, cool. I've got about 15. Narrow it down.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen your ad. I want the job. Which one? Who are you? What are you doing? Tell me, do you have people turning up? It's just something that sort of popped into my mind. Welcome to the mind of Charlie at times. Yeah, do you have people turning up that aren't even dressed appropriately for the role they're going for? So I guess the most bizarre example I can give you is someone who's going for not a low level, but an entry level or a hands-on job where they're going to be bricklaying and stuff, and they've turned up in like the three-piece suit and their smick. Like, they might look really good, but does that sometimes give you that sense of, are you going to be able to do the job?
Yeah. So we live in a weird world doing construction, especially. Like, if he has really good computer skills, I'd be concerned. You know, like, it's a trading, you know. Look, obviously that varies. It's a very, you know, across the board. But yeah, 100%. If someone turned up in a suit, I wouldn't hire them.
Isn't that interesting? Isn't that an amazing phenomenon? Because, you know, we're always told you've got to dress nicely and you've got to dress up. I think dress appropriately is fine. I know I've just spent some time over in Hawaii, and the one thing that they said is that if you're wearing a suit in Hawaii, you work for an insurance company, a lawyer, or one of those high-end retail stores that charge lots of money. Anyone else who's a salesperson wears a pair of cargo pants or jeans and an aloha shirt. We would call them Hawaiian shirts, an aloha shirt. And that's, you know, so if they turn up in a suit, people are like, oh, what are you trying to sell us?
Even for me, like, as a recruiter, if I turn up on, like, to site and I wore office things, people laugh at me. Like, I won't get taken seriously.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? So, yeah, and that just comes down to making sure that I'm just going to bring it back to running your business and why it's important to think about those sorts of things. It's not just how people are presenting to you, it's how you're presenting to people as well. I'm sitting here today, for example, in a T-shirt. Yeah, it is a Christmas T-shirt. I love my Christmas T-shirts. I'm traveling as well, so I've still got my clothes from Christmas in the bag, and I'm like, I need a black shirt. That one's clean.
But like, I'm wearing a, you know, this is a work one, but a polo shirt, and that's sort of, you know, for the industry and things like that, and a pair of jeans, or, do you know what I mean? Something like along those lines, like 100% what you're saying. Even if I'm going to go and see business owners and do a meeting, I'm not going to turn up. If I turned up in a suit and heels, they'd be like, this lady doesn't know what she's talking about. Like, who's she getting dressed for? What?
Yeah, and you absolutely wouldn't turn up on a work site in a pair of heels. You would turn up in your steel-toe boots.
They'd laugh at me. I'd be like they wouldn't even talk to me. You know, so again, getting back though, I do a lot of you know, I do a lot of events and things like that. And, you know, so then again, you'll see like a different Chantal, you know, it's a different person. So, you know, understand your audience, understand where you're going, understand what, you know, you should be wearing to make sure that you dress appropriately.
Excellent. Look, that is really great feedback and information for people to take. If someone was to, so you work in the construction industry, if anyone was to pick up this podcast and is this interview and this discussion and is looking for assistance, how can they get in touch with you, Chantal?
Lots of different ways on my actual website. So that would be siteforce.com.au. I'm on Instagram, also on
Just waiting for my computer to catch up with me. Oh man, it's hard today.
It's a big lag, isn't it?
It's hard today. Yeah, I might just have to reboot the router, find the router and go and reboot.
Look, I mean, if you want to come back to me with anything else, you just let me know, no
I'll
problem.
put all the contact details in the show notes, and you and I can be in touch. Just make sure I've got those all sorted out.
Yeah.
I think it's just really important. And if you do, if you think that you've seen something that Chantal's got here to offer, or you'd like to engage with her more, I'm sure she'd love to hear from you. I really want business owners to take from this interview how much your approach to recruitment makes a difference, whether you're recruiting for a permanent position or a salaried position, a paid position, however you want to put it, a position on your team as an employee, or whether you're employing as a contractor and getting subcontractors in. It's really, really important. You've got to make sure your team matches your ethos, your culture, all of that, as well as having the skills to actually deliver the work that they say they're going to do. Now, before I go much further, I just want to remind people that I have my locals community, askcharlieleetham.locals.com. Being a business owner can be tough. Being a business owner who works remotely can get lonely and frustrating. That's why I started this community. It's a community for business owners that could be a bit like the old water cooler of old. Treat the community as a place where you not only get to interact with me, but with each other. You can gain inspiration from others, provide inspiration and advice. And of course, as members, you'll be able to ask questions of myself. Now, to join the community, it's free. You'll be able to see all the content that goes up. You won't be able to comment on it. To comment on it, you'll need to become a supporter. A supporter costs $2 US a month. It's not a lot of money. That enables me to continue doing this sort of work and the other work like the daily inspirations I'm putting out and stuff, as well as other content creation. And apart from that, it also makes sure that the people that are joining the community to comment and interact are legitimate. They're not trolls coming in to give us all a hard time. So please do come across askcharlieleetham.locals.com. I'd love to see you there. Back to us. That was my spiel. So what's the one thing you'd like business owners take from all of this, Chantal?
I guess that, if you one thing that you've really got to look at too is if you do the right thing and you build the team well and you do invest in your team and things like that, long term it's going to save you money and it's also going to build your profitability, and you've also got then the wealth of knowledge, which means as a business owner, and especially someone like myself, I definitely love going on holiday, and it means I can step away. I can have entrusted people to run the business how I want it run. And I think that's just such a massive thing, especially for small to medium businesses, is learning how to hire properly so you trust in your people so you can step back and you can work on the business, not in the business.
Do you know, I love hearing people say that because that's my catchphrase. We should be working on our businesses, not in our businesses. That doesn't mean to say you shouldn't be working in your business at all, but you shouldn't be working in your business to the exclusion of being able to build and work on the business to make it bigger, better, more secure, whichever it is you're trying to achieve at that point in time. Can we just address that it's going to save you money? Because we didn't get to that earlier, and that's actually a really important thing. Why does it save you money?
Because every time you hire someone, the hiring process in itself is expensive. So putting ads up and things like that. Then you've got to somehow, hopefully do a transfer over, which, doesn't always happen and isn't always great. Then the person that's leaving also has a wealth of knowledge about your business, has a whole heap of stuff that's been stuck in their head that they haven't put in whatever system you're using as well. And then so you've got to have this time of period which you're also got to make sure that you've now spending to train that person up. Now let's hope that it's the first person that you hire that just seems to get it and is amazing and seems to do everything. But let's be honest, that's, that doesn't always happen, so it costs you money to spend time in all of these people up. You've got to take that focus away from to spend the time to train the people up.
Yep, absolutely.
So
I
that's what.
couldn't agree with you more. Just that it's the unrecorded, unrealized cost of training, waiting till someone actually understands what they're doing, understands the process, learns all the systems, picks up all that nuance that is really hard to put into process and put into documentation, because it's nuance. It's stuff that comes from osmosis a lot of the time. And it's costly.
Yeah, 100%. And having someone like myself, for example, that's been in construction for as long as I have and got the wealth of knowledge and things like that, I cannot, I've got an assistant, so I've scaled my business out. I've got an assistant and I've been training her up to do the candidate management side of things, so I can focus on doing this, do the overall business. But I can tell you, when I jump in and I do the recruitment, the way I do it, and because I've been doing it for so long and my knowledge is just, it's you can't buy that. You know what I mean? So when you have someone sitting in the business that has been there for, for however long, again, that knowledge is just, it is priceless. It is invaluable. And I'm like, gobsmacked that you'll have people in a business that will be there for 5 years and, whatever. And then they've been giving people warning signs and, being saying, I'm not happy, or I want this, or, whatever. And business owners are not listening to it and are happy to let someone resign, or a point where they haven't been heard, so then they resign, and then by that stage they're probably not coming back. The damage is done, whereas they could have saved all of that, saved that person. And some people are doing 2 people's jobs, so when they leave, then you've got to actually find 2 people to hire to do this one person's job.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
It's madness to me. It's crazy.
And it should be a no-brainer. But you don't think about it.
No, they don't. And it's just, again, it's this awareness of, how valuable your staff actually are. And they're not, it's yeah, you can replace them. But people do you want to?
Yeah, do you want to? I mean, I know when I lost staff, I ran a couple of retail businesses, and I know that there was some stuff that I wasn't too sad to lose. There was a kind of, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then there was the staff that I'm like, no, look, I don't want you to go. And it's not that I hadn't listened to them. It really was that they had just grown out of that role, and I didn't have the role to send them to, and I didn't want them to go, but I couldn't do more for them. So I was very happy for them. I just wasn't very happy for myself.
It's sort of like, I'm sort of happy for you. That's great. Look, always there's, obviously different nuances and different situations and things like that. But I guess the point is that you really have to be, good at judging what the situation, needs attention to. And it's really sad to see that over and over again, you see companies having the same problem over and over again.
Yep. And they're not learning their lessons. They just keep churning through the stuff. Yep.
Yep.
Don't be that business owner.
No. Yeah. And, one thing that is huge as well is reputation. You don't want to get that reputation that no one wants to go and work for you.
That's a really, really good point. And it doesn't matter how big an industry is, that reputation once set is really hard to lose. Even if it's unfairly set, it's really hard to lose.
Yes, it is.
Look, that's a wealth of information. I really appreciate you spending the time to share that with us. I encourage people to go and connect with Chantal, have a chat to her if you think she can help you out. And Chantal, Thank you so much. We've done the one thing that you wanted people to take away with you. So I'm going to wish everyone a great week, and we will see you next week with the next interview. Thank you so much, Chantal.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
You're most welcome.